Good evening and welcome to the 2024 West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce Candidates Forum. I'd like to welcome our viewers on Facebook and thank you for joining us this evening. By way of background, my name is Jacqueline Powell and I am the moderator for tonight's forum. I'm a local attorney and small business owner and a West Sacramento resident of almost 15 years. I'm also a current director and past board chair of the West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce and a past president of the Rotary Club of West Sacramento. Tonight's forum is brought to you by the West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce. Hosting the Candidates Forum is part of the Chamber's service to the community. However, and importantly, the Chamber does not endorse candidates. Tonight's goal is to introduce the candidates to the community and allow voters to learn more about their positions and platform. Let's start by going over the rules for tonight's forum. This is a forum, not a debate. We intend to ask thoughtful questions and get thoughtful responses. I will indicate how much time is allowed per question. We have a timekeeper who will provide a 30-second warning of your remaining time and then a 15-second warning. The 15-second warning means you need to complete your final sentence or thought. The timekeeper will hold up a stop sign when your time is up, and if necessary, I will politely interrupt you if you exceed your time. To help voters watching this forum, we ask that you draw contrast between you and the other candidate. We encourage you to be specific when answering questions, offer clear solutions, and avoid repeating what has already been said. When necessary, you may be asked to give a brief clarification of your answer for the benefit of the audience and may be asked a follow-up question. We encourage our viewers to share questions in the chat. We will add community questions as we are able. To discuss the upcoming election process, we are joined remotely by Jesse Salinas, Yolo County Chief Election Official.
Hello, my name is Jesse Salinas. I am Yolo County's Assessor, Clerk, Recorder, and Register of Voters. Today, I'm here as your Register of Voters to share with you some important dates to keep in mind. The first is October 21st, which is the last day to register for this upcoming election. And another key date is October 26th, when we will be opening our first vote center there in West Sacramento at City Hall. Other key dates to remember are November 2nd, which our other two locations of vote centers in West Sacramento will be opening up on that date. So in addition to our vote centers, we have drop boxes that are located throughout West Sacramento. I want to encourage you to visit our website at elections.yolocounty.gov to learn more about these vote centers and drop boxes and their locations. You can also learn more information about these candidates at our website. So I encourage you to visit our website when you have a moment. And I want to wish the candidates the best of luck at tonight's forum and to thank you for this opportunity to share this valuable information to all of you. Thank you.
Tonight's first forum features two candidates from for the City of West Sacramento City Council District 1, Emiliano Rosas, and Norma Alcala, incumbent council member at large. Council member Alcala is away on a previously scheduled city obligation. This is the first forum she has had to miss. She sends her regrets and asks us to read the following letter. Greetings from the California League of Cities Conference in Long Beach, where I am honored to represent West Sacramento as a delegate. Serving as city council member is often challenging and rarely glamorous. As Mark Cuban wisely said, it's not about money or connections, it's the willingness to outwork and outlearn everyone. That philosophy has guided me through my public service. I grew up in the Broderick-Bright neighborhood and attended first grade at Holy Cross. My mother raised 4 children as a single parent, and as the eldest, I stepped up to help, even leaving UC Davis at one point to support my family. It wasn't until years later that I was able to complete my college education. Today, I am proud to care for my 89-year-old mother, Goya, in our home in the Rivers, just a few blocks from my childhood home on Pierce Street, where the old Lighthouse golf course once stood. Over the years, I have witnessed many challenges in our community. I saw a young altar boy from my church lose his life to gun violence and a tragic case of mistaken identity. I saw the city fill in the only public pool in Northwest Sacramento with sand, relocating it to Jefferson and Linden, an unsafe bike ride for children from Broderick. And Sacramento Avenue, the main street in Broderick, still lacks sidewalks, putting both seniors and children at risk. When I first ran for school board, I was determined to make a difference. As president, I ended the practice of sending outdated textbooks to North schools and implemented district-wide testing to ensure no child was placed in remedial classes based solely on language barriers. I also spearheaded the dual immersion program at Elkhorn School and introduced single-member districts to the board, ensuring every neighborhood had a voice. Additionally, I arranged for washing machines at Westfield Village Elementary School to support homeless students. When teachers demanded fair pay and the school board walked out, I stayed and listened because they deserved that respect. But I knew there was more to be done. I ran for city council to fight for critical improvements, restoring the missing pool, installing sidewalks, preventing families from losing their homes, and providing shelter for homeless families. I stood alongside children and their mothers to petition for the pool's return. I signed that petition, and thanks to others who listened, like Congresswoman Doris Matsui, our pool is on the way back. When the council debated how to allocate funding for sidewalks, I fought for Sacramento Avenue and secured millions to make it safer. I also prevented the city from demolishing the Sanchez-Duran family home for a walking path that simply needed to be relocated a few feet. I brought the Repair Cafe to Holy Cross Gym, giving our community a resource to fix appliances and computers instead of sending them to the landfill. One of my proudest achievements was helping to establish single-member districts, ensuring our neighborhoods were always represented on the school board and city council. Before, members could live anywhere in the city and still make decisions for areas where they didn't reside. Now our neighborhoods finally have local representation. I remain committed to fighting for affordable housing options for young people and first-time homebuyers. My 10 years of public service have taught me how to address complex challenges and deliver meaningful results. To those attending this forum, thank you for your time and attention. I am proud of what we've accomplished together, but there is still more work to be done. I hope to earn your support before November 5th. Respectfully yours, Norma Alcala, West Sacramento City Councilwoman. Now on to opening statements. Thank you for joining us this evening, Emiliano. Let's get started with your opening statement. You will have 2 minutes to introduce yourself to our online audience, provide some background about yourself, and explain why you are running for City Council District 1.
Of course. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Good evening, everyone. I would like to start by thanking the West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce for hosting this very important debate. My name is Emiliano Rosas, and I have the privilege of standing before you today as someone who has lived the West Sacramento story. I was raised in the vibrant neighborhoods of Broderick and Bright, where my passion for our community began. I was raised by a single mother who worked tirelessly to provide me with opportunities to grow and succeed, just like many of our families in our neighborhoods fighting for a better life. But for too long, our neighborhoods, my home, have been left behind, while areas of West Sacramento have thrived. This is more than just a campaign for me. It's a fight for the neighborhood that shaped who I am today. I'm running for city council to address the challenges we know so well, from homelessness to affordable housing, from public safety to creating more opportunities for our youth, and sidewalks. It breaks my heart to see children, our elders, and our families walking on the streets. I've been hard at work as the chair of the Parks and Rec Commission, modernizing places like Bright Park and Ellis Norman playfields, and as a commissioner on the Yolo County Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Commission, working hard for our young people to keep them out of trouble, to reduce crime, and build pathways to success. My vision for District 1 is where we have the same amenities as other parts of West Sacramento, where we have sidewalks so children don't have to walk in the streets, where we have thriving businesses and abundant options for groceries close by. I'm ready to serve, I'm ready to get results, and I'm ready to work with all of you to build a better future for West Sacramento. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to get to the questions. The first question, you'll have 2 minutes to respond. First question, people are often surprised to learn that the role of West Sacramento City Council members is a part-time commitment. Our elected leaders have full-time jobs, no city staff dedicated to individual council members, no city offices, and minimal salary. How have you prepared to handle the added workload of public office?
I love this question so much, Jacqueline, because I'm already doing that right now. I currently serve on 2 commissions, one county commission, the Yolo County Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Commission, on top of our Parks and Rec Commission. And I truly believe that you prioritize what's important to you, and serving my community has always been a very important topic in my life. It has been instilled in me since I was a child, going to work with my grandma at such a young age when she worked for the Teachers Association. Public service is the highest calling, and it's very important to prioritize serving your community and uplifting others in your community.
Great. Okay. If you are elected, another question, 2-minute response. If you are elected, what efforts can you as a leader in the community make to bring civil discourse among neighbors to the election and governance process in West Sacramento?
I think it is very important to engage our community members in any issue that is going on within our city. I'm proud to say that I have walked and talked to almost every single neighbor in my district, and my neighbors are very disengaged. They don't know who sits on their city council. They don't know who their city council member is. So I think it is very important that our city is out there connecting with neighbors, out walking and talking. We are in a digital age, so how can we continue to work to amplify that message and really what the city is doing for the north side of West Sacramento?
With respect to the relocation of the Oakland A's to Sutter Health Park in March of 2025, what plans do you propose to address the increased demand for parking and infrastructure improvements around the stadium and nearby businesses?
Jacqueline, I am so excited to have the A's come to West Sacramento. It is such a huge opportunity, not only for West Sacramento, but also for our region, to truly capitalize off of the A's coming to West Sacramento. It's going to bring economic boost to our Washington and our Bridge districts. District 1 has many small and large businesses within the district. So I'm a very big supporter of how do we continue to partner with our local Chamber of Commerce when the A's come and do PSAs and partner with our city to really amplify the small businesses that we have in our unique districts, the businesses in the Bridge District, in the Washington District. We have so many. But also, when we are bringing in the A's, we also are going to be having abundant challenges. Traffic congestion. We're also going to be ensuring that we have adequate law enforcement presence. So I think it is a really huge priority that we continue to collaborate. And also, I'm a huge supporter of Measure O, and that is why I believe that it's going to be really huge and essential for our city for that measure to pass, because we could then address big issues like what you just said.
And do you have specific proposals for how to address the impacts of the A's coming to that area with respect to traffic and congestion and?
Public transportation. Mm-hmm. Public transportation is going to be really huge. I live in a district where it's primarily low income, and a lot of my neighbors use public transportation. And we're talking about a neighborhood where there's one household and there's 6 people that live in that house with one car. And it's very important that we continue to invest in our public transportation, but also the A's are coming, like you just said. And I think it's very important that we emphasize and continue to grow like programs like VIA. And what does that look like? I know that the light rail is kind of being proposed, and I'm really interested to see what that prospect may be.
All right, shifting topics. Homelessness often affects existing local businesses as well as the ability to attract new businesses. What additional specific policies would you pursue to address our current homelessness issue while balancing the needs of business and the community?
Yeah, so homelessness is a very critical issue. Like I said, I've walked my entire neighborhood and I've talked to almost every single resident. I host the Broderick Boat Ramp in my district, and I think it is so important that we are addressing homelessness and we are taking very proactive measures to address homelessness. I definitely think we should be partnering with our county partner. I'm proud to be endorsed by Supervisor Villegas, and I really look forward to partnering with him and really what we could do to bring down more mental health resources, how we could bring more prevention dollars down. Also, I'm proud to be endorsed by Assembly Majority Leader Cecilia Aguiar-Curry. So really working with our state partners to advocate for more permanent supportive housing. research has shown that has been very effective in reducing homelessness. So I'm very committed to partnering with our partners in the region to address this.
Okay. And assuming some of that involves city budget money, to balance the city budget, what would you cut to cover the costs of these proposed policies, these partnerships with the county and other?
Yeah, that's a really big question. I definitely think I think it's a little premature to answer that. I'm really looking forward to sitting in the seat and working with our city staff to ensuring that we can pay for these things. I think public safety is something that we shouldn't be cutting first, but I also think these are services that are super essential, like addressing homelessness. So I definitely think I'm going to have to be in the seat in order to make that decision.
Okay. All right, shifting topics again. What is your perspective on the role of the port in the city of West Sacramento? What do you see as the benefits to the city and its residents, and what do you see as the impacts?
West Sacramento is an industrial city. We were built on organized labor, and I think the port brings a lot of rich history to the city of West Sacramento, and a huge advantage. I think it's very important that we talk about the port is operating just fine. I had the privilege of taking a tour of the port, and it's just so beautiful. I think it is important that we look at a much larger kind of vision and making sure that we're making strategic investments to modernize our port. And what does that look like for the future? I think that's really what it looks like, because the port, how it operated 10 years ago, isn't how it operates today, because we're in a whole new age of our world.
Okay. When you're saying modernize the port, do you mean with respect to existing operations, changing operations? What do you mean specifically?
I think when it comes to the current jobs that we have right now, so I really think it's really about being strategic in the maintenance of our core facilities, the financial and economic sustainability of it as well.
All right, we have an online question that just came in. What can you do to reduce the bottlenecks in permitting and business licensing to make West Sacramento more business friendly?
I think that's huge. I think supporting small business is really important. Like I said, I host a lot of small businesses in the district, so I really think it's important to be working with city staff to look at what policies are in place and what is holding up, and what can we do to break down those barriers for our small businesses to come to West Sacramento and be successful.
Okay. All right. Moving on to funding for our city. On May 15, 2024, all 5 members of the City of West Sacramento City Council unanimously passed and adopted a resolution to place a 1-cent sales tax measure, Measure O, on the November 2024 general election ballot. The unions representing fire and police, as well as the West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce, endorsed Measure O. Do you support Measure O, and why?
Yes. Like I said, I've been walking my district, and I have the pleasure of not only walking and talking to neighbors about myself and my campaign, but I also have been out talking to neighbors about the importance of Measure O. West Sacramento has experienced a significant amount of growth since we incorporated, and we just have not been able to keep up with our essential services. So I definitely think it's important that we are backing our public safety officers. There's a lot of deferred parks maintenance. Our roads are really huge importance to a lot of our neighbors. And I really believe that it's important that we have a leader at the table advocating and backing our public safety officers. And I support Measure O because it's tackling those key issues that my neighbors are bringing up every single day that I'm out knocking and talking to them. Roads, infrastructure, increasing our public safety officers. Our high priority calls take 16 minutes. I have neighbors that don't even call 911 anymore because they're afraid that they're just not going to show up.
Okay. There are some small businesses that say the 1-cent sales tax increase is going to affect their small business. Do you have a response or feedback for them as to just that point?
No, No, I don't. I would have to look into that a little bit more. Yeah.
And then how would you ensure funds raised with Measure O would benefit the local economy as promised?
Yeah, the city has been very transparent when it comes to our previous measure dollars. And I have full faith that our city is going to continue to be very transparent in where our city dollars are going to be going. And if elected to the council, I will continue to prioritize and make sure that these dollars go to what is stated in the ballot measure.
Okay. All right, moving on to a different topic. The West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce endorses Proposition 36, the ballot initiative that allows felony charges and increased sentences for certain drug and theft crimes, including retail theft and property damage. Do you support Proposition 36, and what impact do you believe it would have for residents and businesses in West Sacramento?
Yeah, so I support Prop 36. I support it because protecting our small businesses and businesses in general are very important and a top priority of mine. We have seen an uptick in smash and grab thefts, so we need, to work and address those. And small business owners should have a peace of mind in our community, the communities that they serve.
Okay. All right, moving on to another proposition. The 2024 ballot initiative, Proposition 33, would allow local governments to expand rent control. Under Proposition 33, cities and counties can control rents for any housing. They also can limit how much a landlord may increase rents when a new renter moves in. It does not make any changes to existing local rent control laws. Cities and counties would have to take separate actions to change their local laws. It does eliminate existing state of California rent control laws and protections. According to the California Legislative Analyst's Office for the fiscal, the fiscal impact will result in a reduction of local property tax revenues statewide of at least tens of millions of dollars annually due to likely expansion of rent control in some communities. Given that you've mentioned you're in a more economically disadvantaged part of town, do you support Proposition 33 for the residents in District 2? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or District 1, sorry.
No, you're good.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. When I read the prop, I have some concerns. I think in theory, rent control sounds great, but I think we need to continue to build housing. And I think when you put a cap on rent, it continues to make it hard for renters and also home buyers as well. And we've seen cities across our state who have imposed rent control and have a really hard time building housing and having just developers come and build in their cities.
Okay. All right. I think we're out of time. So before I get in trouble, I am going to go ahead and move on to your closing statement. So that'll be the end of our questions. You have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Voters have a choice in this election. You could choose someone who has had years to get results but hasn't delivered for us. Or you could choose me, a young, energetic, and eager candidate who is ready to fight for real change. We've been left behind for too long in Broderick and Bright, but that changes now. We need leadership that will push for sidewalks in our neighborhoods so our families, grandparents, and children can walk safely and not in the streets. We need someone who will champion more small businesses and, yes, even work to bring more fresh food options or a grocery store to our side of the city. And we need to build housing affordable for families, young adults, and seniors. These are real tangible needs that affect our daily lives, and I'm committed to getting them done. I know this community because I've lived here all my life. I was raised here, and I've already been working hard to make it better. I can't do it alone. I need your support to bring fresh, bold ideas to the City Council. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to get results. I'm proud to be endorsed by majority of the West Sacramento City Council, the Washington Unified School District School Board, both of our former mayors, Mike McGowan and Christopher Cabalden, Yolo County Supervisor Oscar Villegas, and Assembly Majority Leader Cecilia Aguiar-Curry. I'm Emiliano Rosas, and I'll be honored to earn your vote in November. Thank you.
Thank you. This brings us to the end of our first forum this evening. Coming up next will be the candidates for City of West Sacramento City Council District 2. We'll be back after a short break.